On this episode of Medium at Heart, two special guests, friends of Annette's, and yes, she has connected them to loved ones on the other side. So, welcome. We're really excited about this Total Girl Talk today. Hi there, I'm Angela.
And I'm Annette.
And Annette is a medium.
I connect you to your loved ones on the other side. I am super excited about this episode.
Why are you so excited?
So excited because two of my favorite people are on, Adrian and Lori, and they're going to share stories about the readings they had and how they were connected to their loved ones on the other side and the validations that they received.
And they're just amazing, beautiful, wonderful human beings.
Oh, yeah. They are amazing to me. They're my heart in this life.
Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so without further ado, why don't we introduce you to Adrian?
Hi.
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Hi, ladies.
Coming to
Doing
us
good.
from New Jersey, both of our guests, and Lori as well, coming to us from New Jersey.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. So good to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the podcast today, ladies. Now, you are all really good friends.
Yes.
And if I could just jump right in and say that there is a sort of a very specific meeting place, it's what I like to call that third place in your life that you go to other than home. And for you guys, it is work. But in this case, it's the hair salon. Adrian, your hair salon is somewhere that you girls like to gather.
Yes.
Yes, we definitely
Yes.
gather there and talk for hours. It's just like you see in like movies or shows. Like that's our meeting point. We have our therapy sessions. We cry, we laugh, and we eat.
and you'll get your hair done.
And we get our hair and nails done.
And what's the name of your hair salon?
The hair tailors.
Hair tailors. So let's start with that because I know that the hair tailors for you, Adrian, owning a salon, there's a really cool backstory to that. And I feel like, Annette, it's something Adrian manifested many years ago, right?
Sure.
Adrian, how did that go for
Yes.
you? How did that happen?
Yes. Actually, I worked for my old boss for a long time, left to have kids, and kind of stayed in touch with him. So when he decided that he wanted to sell the shop, he, called me, whatever. But before he did that, it was a couple years before that, and I was just thinking, who would take over the salon? This one, that one, this stylist that works for him, whatever. This no, and then I finally just went, oh my god, it's going to be me. And then, like, of course, it went right out of my head. And then years went by, and there he was. He's like, "What do you think? You want to buy a salon?" It's like, what is happening?
Love it.
Amazing
Yeah.
that you knew that, you manifested
Pretty
that.
cool.
And you
Yeah.
knew that. That's beautiful. Well, congratulations. I know it's a really popular salon in New Jersey. And then, Lori, how do you know the ladies?
So Adrian and I actually have known each other since I was 10 years old. So we've known each other a very long time. I met Annette through our daughters. We both coached cheer, so we met very early on with my daughter Sophia and her daughter. And Antonia and Sophia were in different cheer groups, but Annette and I coached, and then they ended up playing softball together, and we just connected. And the three of us have kind of had this little group of friendship that has been amazing. And we love to eat together, we love to talk together, and just have a great time full of laughter and love.
So important, right, to have these good friendships
Oh,
in
yes.
your
I'm
life.
so blessed.
And so let's talk about how did you know, or when did you know that Annette had this gift for mediumship, of being able to connect people to their loved ones on the other side?
I don't know exactly when I knew, but I do remember when I did meet Annette. I may have not have been, the nicest person. I was very anyway, that's a whole other story. She's very friendly. I'm very not. So she was like, "Hi." And I said, "Who are you?" Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Who are you?" But after that, we became really good friends. But I don't know exactly when it was that I knew it. But I know the first time that she did ever say anything to me at all was we were in her kitchen and she said to me, "Your grandmother says she likes the ring on your thumb." Like, and I'm like, it was my grandmother's ring I was wearing. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, interesting." So that was my first,
Yeah. She did like it.
reading, so to speak, that she gave me. And she gave me a few other things that my grandmother said that like I used to do. And, I used to make sweatshirts, when I was younger. And that had said to me, I think at a baseball game one time, she's like, "Your grandmother says, the sweatshirts or, and I was like, oh my God, I can't. It was
Wow.
kind of incredible.
Oh, that's so nice. You were close with your grandmother, Adrienne.
Yes,
So that must have meant a
yeah,
lot to you to get those messages.
absolutely, yeah.
That's beautiful. And then wasn't there a story I had heard a story about there were flowers. Annette, did you bring flowers to the
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
salon?
yeah, yeah,
well.
you have to tell that story.
Well, Annette recently came to New Jersey to visit us, and when she comes to get her hair blown out. So she came that day with flowers, and she says, "Where should I put them?" And I said, "Oh, put them on Sam's station." And Sam's the person I bought the salon from, and he has recently passed about 7 months ago. And I said, "Just put them on Sam's station." And she said, "Okay." And she got her hair shampooed and went and sat in my chair. And as I'm walking towards her, she goes, "Oh," she stood right up. She goes, "Oh, you have to move the flowers. Sam's mad. It's leaking on his station." And I so used to her, I guess. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I walked over and I don't know if I thought it was gonna, I don't know what I thought. I picked it up and I went, "Oh my God, there's water on his station." It was just the craziest thing.
And does that sound like something he would say? Like he would be
Oh,
upset about that?
well, absolutely. And she said, "I was going to go do it, but he told me to let you do it," which
Which
was exactly what she would have done.
they keep their sense of humor there. They definitely do. That's a good story. I like it.
Wow. So
Uh,
he's around you. He's still at the salon then.
I'm sure he's here now.
Oh, that's so nice. And then Lori, tell me about you and talking to Annette and some of the conversations you've had.
So the first time that I realized Annette was a medium, I knew Annette. We were friendly enough, but we weren't close at this point. And I was on a family vacation down in Marco Island, Florida, visiting relatives. And I get a random text from her at like 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night while I'm in Marco. And she just says, she's like, "Hey, I know this might be weird, but are you away somewhere with somebody really close to you?" And I'm like, okay. And I guess I had heard in passing she might have been a medium, but I didn't really know like the full extent. So I'm like, yes, I'm away, but I don't give any information because I'm like, what is she doing? Right. So she's like, somebody's here. They're a very strong presence. They're definitely older, very comforting and loving, but they're like really here and want me to get in contact with you. I'm getting this sense of like an A or something. So now my head is starting to go because I'm in Marco Island visiting my uncle, who is my mother's brother. And my closest person in my life was my grandmother, Angelina. And she had passed when I was 20 years old. And um, it was my mother and uncle and other uncle's mother. So he was really struggling at the time. Like he was really having a hard time. Like when she passed, he moved to Marco Island, got out of New Jersey, couldn't be here, and I was coming to visit him because I knew he was struggling. And she's like, "Yeah, she's, wants she says you're with somebody and she wants to let them know that she's okay and they're okay and they should be happy and, enjoy their life and not struggle." And I'm thinking like, what is happening right now? So of course, Annette, every time she gives you some sort of reading or any information, there's always more validation. So the A was enough that I knew it was my grandma Angelina, but she's like, "I'm getting this lemon scent or something lemon and baking." So I immediately burst into tears. As we're texting at this point, and I'm standing there on the lanai just crying hysterical. And my husband is like, "What is wrong with you?" And my grandmother, every Thanksgiving, I always baked with her, but lemon meringue pie was something we always made together. And the year after she passed, it's actually part of the reason my husband and I are together. The year after she passed, I was trying to make lemon meringue pie for Thanksgiving, and I just could not get the meringue to peak. And I was having such a hard time with it. And my husband actually spent like hours on the phone talking me through it. So there was all this validation, the baking, the lemon meringue pie. Annette would never know anything. We weren't close. The fact that I was in Marco Island on vacation, I never told people when I was going away because I didn't want like, them to know I wouldn't be home and my house was open. All of these things. Plus, I'm with my uncle who is struggling. So it was just like, oh, this is the real deal. And from that point on, Annette and I just, started to bloom this friendship from just this moment of recollection of, like, oh my goodness, like my grandmother's really here with me. And Annette really gave me a gift that day and gave my uncle a gift.
And Annette, you when you knew did you
I-
want wait, you want to say
Yeah,
something? Go ahead.
Lori, if memory serves me correctly, didn't your grandmother also say she's going to send you signs and then someone brought something to the house?
Oh, yeah.
And that,
So, yeah. So here we are in Florida in the middle of July, right? And you of course let me know, and there would be a sign and all of this. And I walk in my aunt's house the next day because we had rented a home on Marco. We go there for dinner the next day, and my cousin Susan comes in and she's like, "Oh my God, you're never gonna believe what they had at Publix." And she puts down a lemon meringue pie on the table.
That's a
Wow.
good one.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is, and when you do feel these signs and you know she's around you, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's just so comforting. I mean, my grandmother was just the light of my life, and I spent so much time with her. And just, you feel like you just get hugged, you know? She's there, she's hugging you. I know no matter what's happening in my life that she's around, and I can ask her for signs and I can speak to her, and I know if I really need her, she'll come find Annette and let me know.
Oh,
That's
yes,
so
they
nice.
both will. Yes, and I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
And so, and then you just text them that
Yeah,
these are the messages.
it's great.
That's so nice. And then Adrian, is it Annette and I were chatting about a spirit guide that you were able to you watched one of our episodes, the episode about
Yeah.
spirit
Yeah,
guide. You
it's
you
Yeah.
watched the episode and it prompted you to learn your spirit guide's name.
Right, exactly. As I was literally watching the episode the other day, I was like, she was, Annette was saying what you had to say, and I was saying it in my head. And as I said it in my head, it literally, a text came and it said Kiara Sky. And I was like, oh my God. And it's nail products, whatever it was, but it was at the exact moment. It was crazy. And we had discussed it before, but I'm forgetful and I forget things. But so of course I was like, Annette, what was it? This, and that. So it was, yeah. So basically it was in that exact moment as I was watching her do it, it happened.
And it sounds like it just made sense to you and that you
100%. I was like, of course, there it is.
oh, that's so nice. Now spirit guides, give us a quick little 101 on
well,
spirit.
we had talked about spirit guides, all of us, and I remember one time we got Adrian's spirit guide's name, but it goes out of your head sometimes when you're busy with life, and then to have this, text come through. But
So your
yeah,
spirit guide's part of your team like
they're part
that
of our team. Yeah, that
when
you
you need
rely
help,
on.
that we rely on to
And
help
and a
us.
lot they help me a lot too if I'm reading for people and I don't understand the person, whether there's a language barrier or for whatever reason, the spirit guide will step in and give me the message clearer. But they help us in life so much. They're like your soul friend.
Oh, that's so nice. Isn't that so nice to know that we have those people? So you have your besties here
Yeah.
in the physical
I'm
realm,
so
and then
excited they're doing this.
you're able to bring their loved ones, especially the love of a grandmother, I think is unique, right, Annette? You even
Yeah,
talk about that.
and a lot of times too, like you said, they'll have message because I'm close to them. Their loved ones can pop in anytime they want. I'll just text them, and say stuff. Actually, I text Lori in a while ago, and she has another really cool validation story.
Yeah, I was going through some health scares, and I didn't tell anybody. I'm more of a deal with it myself and then come for support when I need it. So I had all these tests done and I was really stressing out, but nobody knew. And this had to be, God, I'm going to say maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And I had had a weight loss journey, and I literally ate the same thing for lunch every day. I would have a garden salad with grilled chicken, and I'd sit at my desk and eat. And one day I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for test results that hopefully I would have that afternoon. I was having an awful day. And this gentleman, Tommy, that I worked with, great guy, he walked in, looked at me, he's like, what are you doing? Eating twigs and berries over there? And I laughed as I'm having my everyday salad. And I laughed and I'm like, yeah, Tommy, what do you need? And I help him. About an hour and a half later, I get a text from Annette and she's like, what is going on with you? I'm like, nothing, I'm good. She's like, no, you're not. Your grandmother will not leave me alone. And she's really, she wants me to get in touch with you and let you know, stop worrying. Everything's going to work out. You're going to be fine. I'm like, okay. She's like, I need you to have this validation because, again, she always gives something. She's like, your grandmother keeps saying something about twigs and berries.
Oh my
And I
God.
was just like, oh my God, like, seriously, right now? Like, there was no way that in a million years or anyone could have known that Tommy said that to me, like, and I'm like, okay, like, and then you get that sense of calm that comes over you. I'm like, grandma's here. And luckily test results came in, everything was fine, and we move on. But it was like, all right, so now, I'm like, and I write her back, I'm like, sorry, Annette, like, I know my grandma's a little pushy, but I'm glad she is, because it's just, I mean, twigs and berries, seriously, like, how, which
It's
is wonderful. It's wonderful.
yeah, and times of need, even if they don't if you don't think they're gonna come through, call on them because they do hear us and they will help us.
Well, that was a really important one too, because Lori was going through so much,
Yeah.
and just that, and it brought a little bit of lightness, that little bit of levity to it.
Mhm.
And it really showed your grandmother's personality.
Oh, yes, both of them. And you know what's great too? When I go to New Jersey and we all meet at the salon, I bring them. They're there too. I'm like, come on in. We're all gonna hang out.
And so is your mother.
And oh my gosh,
Please,
Adrian has
Yeah.
a story.
please.
Angela, Adrian has a story about mom. So, and she calls her Anne because that's her name. But mom loved, you know how mom loved going to the
Yeah.
salon like
Yeah.
all the time. So she's always at the salon, even when I'm not at the salon. This is a really interesting story.
This is the most amazing thing. So I decided last year that, oh my God, January 20th is coming. One of my assistants, it's her birthday. Like I need to go get her cake. And I'm usually not that aggressive about things. I'm usually like, oh, last minute, whatever. But I'm like, no, I need to get this cake. I need to get her a cake. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't forget. I can't forget. So I ran to Wegmans, got a small chocolate cake, and came to work the next day. And I said, Anne, and her name is Anne Marie. And I said to her, Anne, happy birthday. And she turned around and looked at me. And the second she did it, I go, your birthday is June 20th. It's not your birthday. So we laughed about it. I'm like, I can't believe I've known you for so long. Oh, how did I do that? Whatever. It's your half birthday. We made a joke. Well, about halfway through the day, I get a Snapchat from Annette that tells me, and she decides to tell me it's her mother's birthday.
Is
It's like,
Just
I have a
random.
story for you because you don't even understand that I just bought a cake for my
yes,
employees
whose
and it's
name is
her
Anne
birthday, whose name is Anne. It's
on
not her
mom's
birthday.
birthday.
Oh, you bought my mom a
Yeah,
cake.
she
So you
goes,
did
"Oh
not
my
I
realize
God."
it.
did.
That was her
I did.
response. She goes, "Oh my God,
That
I
was
bought your mom a cake."
hysterical. That
That is
was the
so
best.
beautiful. I just love that. It's so heartwarming and connective. I love the connectivity of it all.
Yeah, she is part of our salon group.
Of course,
Yes, she
everybody loves
is.
the salon. That's so nice. When you go there, when you girls are all together at that salon, it must be just a really warm and welcoming, and
Oh my God, I laugh so much I cry. They make me laugh so hard.
you need those people in your lives. Talking about your support system, right? So we have those that we love on the other side, but the support system here on earth is just as important, right,
Oh,
girls?
100%.
Friendships are everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And great
One of my
hair. Good friendships and
Yes,
great hair.
yes.
there's that
Thanks
too.
to thanks to
Yeah.
Adrian. My God, I say that, Antonia and I say thanks to Adrian, we're pretty.
Now that's a very powerful gift as well.
Yes, I love you girls. Thank you for coming on.
Well, we
So,
love you.
aw, so nice. I love sharing in this friendship with you ladies, and all of these signs and validations. And Lori's lemon meringue pie remains to be a part of your world and your life.
Absolutely. It's, you know, even if nobody touches it at Thanksgiving, it's like the
Oh.
thing that has to be. And it's so funny. This year, matter of fact, I made my aunt's pie crust for the first time. Adrian was laughing at me. I have a brand new kitchen, which is beautiful. And I made this lemon meringue pie and it was so beautiful. And everybody ate it, and I stood in the kitchen and I was just like, "Thanks, Graham. Like, I know you're here and I know you're enjoying this kitchen with me." And that has been so great in helping us really just look for all the signs around us and knowing what we're looking for. Everybody has their certain something, and for me, it's ladybugs. And I know my loved ones, when I need them, they appear in ladybugs. So, the lemon meringue pie, it's Thanksgiving, and, I go to the bathroom and there's a ladybug on the floor. And I'm like,
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay.
nice.
I traveled a lot for work and I was having a really tough time. And I walk in a hotel room and there's like 10 ladybugs in the hotel room. When do you ever see that? So, like, I
Wow.
just know to look for certain things. And the lemon meringue pie is something super strong for me. Ladybugs are super strong for me. I know my father and my grandmother come through that way. And just knowing that I had that this year, Thanksgiving, in my new kitchen, beautiful meringue pie that everybody was raving about, like my best ever. And I'm like, yeah, 31 years later, I finally get it right. But it was just, it's just heartwarming to know it. And I can't thank Annette enough for the gift that she shared with us of all of that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Oh, that is so nice. Thank you so much, Lori. And Adrian, thank you also for all that you do in so many ways. I know how important both of you girls are to my sister's life. And the fact that you came on Medium at Heart really means the world to us to share your stories. Before we let you go, is there anything else that you want to say?
We love Annette. I knew she could do it.
Thank you.
I've
Yeah.
been telling
Yes.
her a long time.
Yes, you have.
Yeah,
Thank you
we've
for
been
your
She does what she does very well. We're
yes,
proud of
she
her.
does. And we're so proud of her, and we've been encouraging her. She needs to share this gift, and and
I
we're just listening every week, every time there's a new release, and hearing the two of you. And like I said, Angela, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you, and I feel like we're all sisters. So just sending you
yes.
guys love, and the only thing we wish is we weren't so far away.
I know, but that's
Aw.
okay. I'll travel up again soon.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies, so much,
Thank
Lori
you,
and
girls.
Adrian.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. And
See you
keep doing what you
soon.
do. It's amazing.
Thank you. Love you both.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so lovely.
That was so
What
nice.
a night. What a beautiful conversation. That must bring back a lot for you too, Annette, when you think about the readings.
Oh, yeah, and used to look forward to going to the salon every week. I had a standing appointment every Thursday, and I'd go on Saturdays. Like, even if she didn't have time for me, like, I would go when Lori had an appointment and vice versa, so we could just all hang out. And then I started bringing food, and it was just, a day out.
A party,
Yeah, it
its
was
own little
great. Yeah,
party.
it's great that I can do that.
Oh, Annette, that's so
Yeah,
nice.
those are good.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. So let's do some feel goods.
Yeah, so I had a follower text me such a nice story. She had what she loved to do is she loved to make candles, but she hadn't done it in about 3 or 4 years. She just wasn't feeling it. She heard the podcast and she heard what I call feel goods, and she started making her candles again, and now she's selling them for the holidays.
So how would you define a feel good?
So feel good is something obviously that makes you feel good. Okay, I'll show you my feel good. You have a feel good too?
I have a feel good. I have two feel goods to share. And I think Ben, our producer, has a feel good also.
So this is just my cute little calendar that I got that makes me feel so good. And it has stickers inside. And I get organized because when I'm organized, I feel good.
Okay, guess what?
What?
No joke. That was my feel good.
Ah!
Okay, I had the same feel good this week.
That's
we did not discuss
awesome.
this. Isn't that fun? We're such sisters. So, Oh my God.
Yes.
So mine, I have a whole thing about my calendar. I know everyone has their stuff in life. So I can't have one with the rings like you had
Yeah.
because it gets caught on everything because my bag
Oh.
is so crowded and it would get hooked on everything. So I need a very specific calendar. I love the blue color and it does feel really organized going into 2025. So I did that for myself this week was I got my feel good. And then we did have someone else write to us about their feel
Oh, yeah?
good. And their feel good is 4 times a week they go to yoga and love it. So it takes them from their workday because she needed a transition from her workday to her home life.
Oh,
It just
understood.
it was too abrupt
Yes.
of a re-entry to home life.
Yeah.
And so her yoga class gives her time to relax. Of course, it's great for her health. It's great for her soul and her mind as well. So now she was looking for the right type of exercise and found that yoga was the thing for her. And now she really looks forward to it. So that's her feel good. And we want to check in with producer
Yes.
Ben and find out what his feel good for the week is.
Hello, hello. All right, so my feel good for this week are these sunsets. I am loving the sky. Every single time when I leave work, I get to look outside and I look up and I just take a second. I'm like, wow, this is where colors come from. This is
Yes.
this. And then you just realize and you take a deep breath and you're like, wow, I do feel good. So I will say my feel goods this week are the beautiful skies after leaving work. So
Oh, I love that. That made me feel good listening to
Yeah,
it.
just hearing it.
Yeah.
Because you were present for it. Like you were taking the
Yes.
time to
Yes.
notice it. You were really sort of appreciating it.
It's
Yes.
really, when they really say stop and smell the roses, you really should just take a second and appreciate everything that you have out here in this life. So
100%. I want to make sure everybody does one feel good a day. Even if it's a song while you're commuting, listening to our podcast, just anything that makes you feel good.
Yeah, that
One a
puts you in that
day
place.
puts you in a really good place. You're in alignment. It sets you up to receive the things that you desire, unexpected things that you expect or unexpected. As long as you're in that vibration, good things will come.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And please do follow us on Spotify. Hit that follow feature. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really helps us. It empowers us and supports us to move forward with our podcast. We really, really appreciate that. Also, follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok.
Yes.
And you can write to us. We have an email because we want to know your feel goods and we want to know what is it that keeps you in alignment. We would love to share them. It is mediumatheart@gmail.com. Also, if you have any questions, we love answering
Yes.
viewer questions as well.
Yes.
mediumatheart@gmail.com. And then I'll let you have the last word.
So send me your stories and your feel goods because I love to hear about them. And I feel like when you express them, you want to do more of them. So keep up the good work and we'll talk soon.